Want to know how to practice yoga without injuring yourself? Keep watching. I'm going to be sharing 5 of my secrets to avoiding injury in yoga in just a moment. I'm Jamie, a Hatha yoga and meditation teacher, and my mission is to help you guys get to know your own body so that you're able to maintain a healthy home yoga practice free from injury. So if you find this content useful, please do hit the like button below. It really helps out the algorithm so that I can reach and help more people. First of all, as with any physical exercise, it is possible to injure yourself in yoga. Now, why is that? Well, it normally comes down to one of 3 reasons. Firstly, you've either pushed too far. Secondly, you've attempted a pose, a challenging pose that you're not ready for yet. Perhaps you haven't built the necessary strength or flexibility. And thirdly, maybe your alignment is off. My first tip is to be selective with the style of yoga that you practice. So you might love a sweaty vinyasa, but when you move through the poses quickly, this can often result in injury. The same goes for a yin practice, which is a lot slower, but you hold the postures for maybe 3 to 5 or sometimes even more minutes, which means that sometimes it can feel really uncomfortable and you can push past your limit. Ashtanga is another practice that is quite strong. So if you practice this before building your foundations and you attempt poses that you're not ready for, again, this can result in injury. Personally, I would always choose a slower paced style of yoga like Hatha, where you hold the poses a little bit longer, especially if you are a beginner or an experienced practitioner, but then wants to be more conscious about the longevity of your body. Why? Well, when you move through the practice more slowly, you have more time and space to become more aware of how your body feels in each of the poses, and you can make the necessary alignment adjustments. So I am biased, but I believe that Hatha is the safest type of yoga that you can practice. Tip number 2 are mindful transitions. So transitions are as important as the poses themselves. There is always a journey in and a journey out of each pose. Instead of just randomly coming out of the pose any old way, think about how you can move from pose to pose in a way that feels natural and doesn't put any strain on your body. Tip number 3 is extension of the spine before anything else. This means to lengthen or elongate the spine before coming into any type of stretch, whether that's a forward bend, side bend, but particularly back bends and twists, as these are the movements that tend to cause more injury. So it's not about how deep you go or how far you twist. It's all about creating length and space between your vertebrae so that you don't put unnecessary pressure on the discs that lie in between your vertebrae. Now, if you don't do this, if you don't create length beforehand, over time you'll start to grind down on the discs that are in between your vertebrae, and this is what can lead to potential injury or problems in the future. Number 4 is to never, ever push to the point of pain or strain. Have you ever heard a yoga teacher say, "Leave your ego at the door"? Well, what that means is to back off the instinct to really go for it in terms of flexibility. There is absolutely no benefit to getting your foot behind your head or even getting your chest to the floor in a wide-legged seated bend. So instead, focus on creating length, building strength, and focusing your attention on the present moment. Our last tip, and probably the most important one in terms of staying injury-free, is to develop a deep sense of awareness of your body. Why? Well, everyone has a different body type, so what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. And this is why it's really important to develop this body awareness so that you're able to adapt your practice accordingly. For example, people with herniated discs, so any back injury, might want to be really careful when doing a forward bend. They might bend their knees a little bit more to take out some of the intensity. People who are hypermobile, so naturally bendy, won't necessarily feel a stretch. So it will be difficult for them to work out where their limit is. So for them, instead of focusing on flexibility, their goal would be to build strength to protect their joints. And there you have it, my 5 secret tips to avoiding injury in yoga. If you found this information useful, then don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to stay in touch, then you can reach me at my Facebook group, Yoga for Back Care and a Better Posture. See you next time.